Our next inductee is an American paint horse champion who just also happens to be a nurse and a retired Rear Admiral of the U.S. Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Christina Alvarado Shanahan.
2019 Cowgirl Hall of Fame honoree, Rear Admiral Christina Alvarado Shanahan. Loudly announcing her love of horses as a toddler in a non-horse family, Christina Alvarado Shanahan would persist with this passion to become a 3-time American paint horse world champion. This grit, determination, and tenacity would emanate through all aspects of her life, including as a nurse, naval officer, and transformational leader. Christina first learned to ride at age 8 in Anchorage, Alaska, where her father, an Air Force colonel, was stationed. She pestered the barn manager at the military stables so much that he finally allowed her to care for the horses and muck stalls in exchange for an hour in the saddle. Christina worked her way to horse shows on borrowed horses, not actually owning her first horse until age 16. Her early determination in the arena laid the groundwork for her outstanding civilian and military careers. Like her mother, Alvarado became a nurse, working in the clinical areas of orthopedics, neurosurgery, and intensive care. She followed her father into military service. Alvarado began her Navy Reserve career as a direct commissioned officer. She was called to active duty during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and then served in the Neurosurgical Intensive Care Unit at the National Naval Medical Center in Maryland. She was again called to active duty for Operations Noble Eagle and Enduring Freedom. Alvarado also served as the executive officer of the Operational Health Support Unit in Florida and became the first nurse to serve as commanding officer of the Expeditionary Medical Facility Dallas 1, a mobile medical facility deployed to provide life-saving medical care to military personnel much closer to the battle than traditional wartime care. With the rollout of expeditionary medicine, the survival rate of injured servicemen and women rose to a high of 98% during the Gulf War conflicts. Alvarado was the first nurse of Hispanic heritage to be selected to the rank of Rear Admiral in the Nurse Corps, and first female of Hispanic descent to reach Rear Admiral upper half. In this latter capacity, she led the entire Navy Medicine Reserve component, reporting directly to the Navy Surgeon General. In 2018, Alvarado retired from the military after 30 years of exemplary service and a copious legacy of military awards. Between rotations, Alvarado held several civilian positions. Dedicated to our veterans, she also spent 10 years on Capitol Hill, serving as staff director of the U.S. House Subcommittee on Hospitals and Healthcare, and as professional staff member of the U.S. House Committee on Veterans Affairs. Forever a cowgirl at heart, Alvarado found time to ride even with a busy career and while raising a family with her husband Kieran. In 2006, she began showing again with American Paint and American Quarter Horses in both English and Western styles. While serving on active duty in 2008, Alvarado found time to travel the country to weekend APHA shows with her horse Possum and was awarded the #1 novice amateur all-around. She went on to win the APHA World Show title in Hunter Under Saddle over 3 consecutive years, from 2011 to 2013. A whirlwind of energy, the retired Rear Admiral has beyond succeeded in all areas of her expertise, all the while making the world a better place for our men and women in uniform. We salute Christina Alvarado Shanahan and are humbled by her presence in the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, the warrior, the 3-time world champion horsewoman, and now a member of the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame, please welcome Christina Alvarado Shanahan.
Wow, I've never been in a room with this many horse-crazy cowgirls, and I love it. I'm in heaven. It's such an incredible honor to be here with all of these cowgirl legends. The importance of the National Cowgirl Hall of Fame is so immense. I mean, I'm struck by it because it was my first visit last night. Every single day, there's tiny little cowgirls born all over the world, and they can now look to the Cowgirl Hall of Fame for every inspiration and every mentor that they will ever need. I didn't have that when I was coming up, but it just strikes me that all of you are responsible for what I grew up to be, and I so much appreciate that. Thank you for preserving the history and the traditions, the values, and the spirit of the American cowgirl. I want to specifically thank the board of directors, the selection committees, the executive director, Patricia Riley, who saw one of my ads in the Paint Horse Journal and thought that I might be worthy of a look. And I thought that, and that's why I got here today. That's part of the reason. And all the staff that helped me get here, including Bethany and Emmy Lou. I also have such appreciation for the volunteers and all the money behind this enormous effort. I know that the buildings don't go up just by a wish and a prayer. It takes everybody in this room to help make it happen. And because of that, I thank you so much, because you have preserved a history for all of us going forward. The induction is so important to me because it represents the bringing together of the two, other than my husband and my family, the two biggest passions in my life, and that's the U.S. Navy and horses. And I didn't think it was possible. In fact, my husband said, only you could come up with an award that combines horses and the Navy. But I didn't do that. The Cowgirl Hall of Fame did that for me. The truth is, all women today, they come forward on the backs of those who came before us. And that is so true, from the first suffragettes to all of the cowgirls here today, all of the delightful and fierce females in between. All of us are raised and come forward on the backs of all of those wonderful women. And the same is true for the making of a cowgirl. It is such a huge part of what we do. And the Cowgirl Museum honors all women because it is such a significant thing for our nation. Like I said, though, like Stacy said, actually, it's not about us. In fact, I'm from North Carolina. I wish I was from Texas because I love it here. But I'm from North Carolina, and we have a saying, one of our old senators said this, that if you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, chances are he or she did not get there by himself. And that is so true of me. All the success I have is the sum of all the people who have walked with me. And that includes all my Navy shipmates, all my horse friends, all my non-horse friends, believe I have one or two of those, my mentors, and most importantly, my family. Thank you is really not enough. I hope that throughout the years, my actions have proven me worthy of your confidence in me. Next, I really deeply want to thank the American Paint Horse Association, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my horse family. APHA Executive Director Billy Smith nominated me for the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. And it was Laura Jessberg, who's sitting at my table, and Teresa Brown, who completed, you can't believe, the nomination package that you have to put together. It was worse than top secret clearance, I promise you. And I have trained with Tim and Shannon Gillespie of Gillespie Show Horses for almost 10 years. And I promise you, I would not be a 3-time world champion if it weren't for them. Because you have to understand, they helped me over and over again make the transition from the desert sand to the arena sand. And that's what I would do. I would fly in from who knows where for a horse show. I hadn't tried to practice even, because I was boots on ground with the Marines, and I would come in and they would lift me up and say, you can do this. So behind every champion is a huge team of people like Tim and Shannon Gillespie. And then I have my mother, who's the original cowgirl. She's going to be 94 next month. She's right there. She met her boyfriend, Jim Verney, who's with her online dating, and she lied about her age. And I'm the youngest of 7, and so I came by my beatings honestly. And some of my siblings, like my brother Peter, who beat me regularly, and my sister Rita, who chased me around the house just a little, they're here representing my family. My son is here, Jimmy, who, none of my kids were horse people. I don't know, I didn't set a very good example. But Jimmy tried to be a horse person one day when, for Mother's Day, he bought me a miniature donkey named Fernando. Because nothing quite says, "I love you, Mom," like a miniature ass. But Jimmy, not being a horse person, didn't realize that donkeys live 45 years. Nando is 4. Guess who's going to get Jimmy a present in his will, and his name is Nando. He'll be living with him. My other son, Patrick, is an unbelievable artist. He's here. He actually featured my horse Possum in one of his movies, and the best part was at the end when they ran the credits, it said horse, Possum. I love that. She was like in the credits. And I also want to recognize my barn manager. I breed paint horses at my home in North Carolina. Cameron Van Sickle's here. I couldn't do what I do without him. But of paramount importance to me, like Stacy said, behind every cowgirl is a significant other. In my case, it's my husband, the original Irishman, Kieran Shanahan. He's famous for explaining his role in the horse world like this: Tina's passionate about horses, and I'm passionate about Tina. What else is there to say? But he's my rock. He supported me through every deployment. He took care of I had 3 kids in high school on my last deployment. He's freaking out because he doesn't even know how to work the washer and dryer. My kids are running through the house singing "Ding Dong, the Wicked Witch is Dead" because they're in high school and they're loving it, right? They're like, "Oh, she's gone. She's gone. She won't know." But in every military life, the role of the spouse is we celebrate veterans. We celebrate Veterans Day, but nobody celebrates the spouses in the family of military veterans. And I'm here to tell you they are the people, the wind beneath our wings. They are. Kieran, stand up. So the thing I'm most, as I said, I didn't get here on my own, and the people that put me here are the team that was my Navy medicine team. And the truth is, when we started in Desert Storm, the survival rate of military in combat was 75%. By the end of the Gulf War and into the war in Afghanistan, survival rate is now at 98%. And my team pioneered that. And they're the reason that I'm the Admiral today. I only got to wear the uniform, but the truth of the matter is the people behind me are the reason why we can send America's sons and daughters back home for Thanksgiving and back home for Christmas. It's not about the uniform I wear, it's the people that I had the honor to lead. When I reported on board, I was the first nurse and woman to ever lead an operational unit. And my senior team quit. They said, "Oh, if we're gonna have a woman and a nurse, when we've always had a doctor and a man, that must mean they're taking away our commission." And it was a commissioned unit. But the truth of the matter was it was a 500-bed fleet hospital, and you couldn't get that thing anywhere quickly. And so they were standing it down, and we thought we were gonna die. And I started building my barn at home because I thought I'm gonna retire as a captain. But I pulled on board, and my whole senior team had retired, and I recruited a ragtag team, anybody that would help me. And we came in, and I said, we can either sit here and take it, or we can create our own future. The fact of the matter is, war had changed. There was no front line. There was a firefight here in Fallujah and a firefight over here, and you had to be able to get there quickly, and we couldn't because we had this 500-bed platform. And we came up with the concept of a 10, 50-bed, and 150-bed platform. And we could be anywhere in the world set up, operating with 2 operating rooms in 72 hours. And the truth of the matter is, if anyone, soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine, has fallen today in Afghanistan, we can be there, on average, within 30 minutes of their injury. And that never happened before. So if I have anything to create for the future, it's the fact that dreams are achievable. And just because you think you're at the end of your road, you're not. And if I have, in my lifetime, been able to inspire one cowgirl, then I have lived a life that is true and pure, and one of which I am proud. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, retired Rear Admiral Christina Alvarado Shanahan, thank you so much for your service. We congratulate you on your induction into the National Cowgirl Museum and Hall of Fame. Your visit there last night was your first, but we know that you'll be back, and we will welcome you with open arms. Congratulations to you.